You have reached the Geek Elite. Good luck.
Well, let's take that journey into mystery via the web. That's right. As we, Ian and myself, welcome Alex back to the show to talk about Spider-Man from 2002. That's how you say that back then.
Yep.
Back when you couldn't say 20 and it was weird.
It really was. What are you supposed to say? Ought to?
Ought to works, yeah.
I played a Slugfest game that said 2004, so maybe you could get away with it. You just have to say "oh" for the second one.
Oh, okay.
It's still dumb no matter what.
Well, I mean, you could just say O2.
O2.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spider-Man from all the way back in 2002, the OG Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, J.K. Simmons Spider-Man. I think it's going to be a great time.
Absolutely. Also, thank you for having me. I didn't say that a second ago because we got derailed by the joke. But again, thank you.
Well, thank you for coming back.
I've been looking forward to these movies because, spoiler alert, anybody out there in Chatland and in Futureland, Malfoy's slotted in. He's slated in for all of the Spider-Man movies, all three Sam Raimi films.
Oh yeah.
So like I've been waiting for this. If you don't know, I call Alex Malfoy. He's my best damn friend in the whole damn world, and I love listening to him talk about movies because he gets so fired up about important things and not at all important things in a movie.
It's mainly the tedious small things that only I feel like noticed, but you know, I'm here for it.
I mean, that's what this show is about, if anything. The small, tedious things that get us fired up.
Oh, man.
But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about the MCU and where we're at right now, because Thor Love and Thunder has reportedly wrapped filming, as we saw in the super jacked Chris Hemsworth picture that was released.
Like, what the hell? The dude is yoked. Like, I've known that he's like a muscle-bound dude.
I think he's on PEDs though.
Okay, you're gonna have to fill me in. I do not know what a PED is.
What is a PED? I'm just somebody who like.
Oh,
duh. How am I an idiot about that? Mitch, we can edit that out, right?
We could. Not going to.
Okay. Shut up. We need some room noise for the edit. Damn it, Mitch.
I think well, my brother, who may or may not know a thing or two about performance-enhancing drugs, told me that Chris Hemsworth is, I think, either on steroids or SARMs. But yeah, I mean, he's not like an athlete. He just has nothing to like hold against it. Also, it's Disney money, so they're going to invest.
I mean, we know the same thing happens with Sylvester Stallone. He's admitted to that. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's admitted to it. So you're right. They're actors. They're not athletes.
Hold up. Is this Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was still competing?
No, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger as an actor.
Okay, I was gonna say that does ruin my perception of Mr. Universe, but if it was while he was an actor, screw it, dude. Do you get big, get jacked?
Dude,
but those Hemsworth arms are Hemsworth trees.
Well, I'm not trying to undercut the work that guy does. I'm just saying, chemically, he's probably not a normal person.
Well, someone else also pointed out that he's probably getting into as big as arm shape as he can for his role as Hulk Hogan in the Hulk Hogan biopic that he's going to be doing next.
Yeah, probably.
Whoa, that's actually perfect. That's amazing.
Yeah, so
I'm so excited for that. That's cool. I hadn't heard about that.
So, real quick, while we're still talking about this guy's arms, Magic Bullock says it's all CGI. They're fake.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that either. But, however, Magic Bollocks has been looking up to Kumail Nanjiani for quite a while now. So,
Yeah.
Hi, Case. Welcome in. And hello, Case in the future. Case just said he's literally being paid to be arms man person.
yes.
Yeah.
He gets paid by Disney to work out, eat properly from a chef that they paid, and then just look cool all the time. And that's okay. It's good work if you can get it.
If you can get the work, by all means, get the work.
Have you guys seen the interview with, I think it's Rob McElhenney? I forget how to say his last name, from Always Sunny. He plays Mac. And he was talking about how on that show, like one season, he just got ripped for no reason. And he was like, if a show or a producer is willing to pay me enough, I'll do whatever. You want me to get buff? Sure. Like, you want me to get super fat? Like he did one season, just got super fucking fat. He was like, yeah, they paid me. We thought it would be funny. I did it.
That was he got super buff the season after he got super fat, right? Like that was the reason for that or something.
I think that was the long-term thing, is like, I'm going to get really big and then just get rid of it. But yeah, that guy's awesome. I like that whole cast actually.
Yeah. That's a fun show. So what are your thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder at this point then? Like last time we saw Thor, he was getting onto that he's getting onto the Benatar, I think. Was it the Benatar? Is it still the what's the girl from
Nostromo?
The what?
It's the Nostromo.
No,
let's be real. It's like they're gonna go find xenomorphs.
That would be crazy.
But yeah,
crossover.
Like he was still dad bod Thor, if that's what you want to call him. So
that is true.
Yeah,
I hadn't considered that.
How much time?
Because even when he blew up with the lightning, he still had the gut.
Oh yeah,
he was like Fat Viking Thor. Yeah,
which I loved, by the way. I love that he wasn't just like, and now I'm ripped. He's just like, no, I just got the power of Thor again, man. Like,
I'm still worthy, as he said.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so ready. I'm so ready for Love and Thunder. I'm just ready for a new goddamn Marvel movie, man.
You know what? It's just a little over a month. Just a little over a month.
I mean, one of the clear positives of COVID, right? Like, superhero fatigue is clearly gone because we're all jonesing for a new Marvel movie.
Even you.
Yeah, even me. I was like not even into it. And then now WandaVision was really great, like exceptional. And I'm kind of hooked again. But yeah, but like this movie, Thor: Love and Thunder, the two movies I had specifically skipped were the direct prequels to this movie, the Guardians movie and Ragnarok. I watched because of this show, so that way I would not be out of touch when we did the rankings. So now I get to be thoroughly excited for this movie because I watched those other movies. So thanks to Journey into Mystery.
You're welcome.
I need somebody to grab just the soundbite of "Thanks to Journey into Mystery."
That would be a good thing to add to the theme music.
Well, that way we could just toss it into other podcasts.
I'll be your ad. That's fine.
No, not even that. Just like somebody's talking, it's just mouthful going, yeah. Thanks to Journey into Mystery.
Wait, where did that come from? Don't worry about it.
Right. Don't ask questions. Case wants us to make an ad. I'll make an ad. Don't you tempt me, Case. And you will run it in front of your podcast.
Case has been asking me for an ad for like probably close to a year, and I've been like, yeah, I'm gonna get to it, and just have not gotten to it.
All right, Case, come here. Here's your ad. Ready? Do you like comic book movies, particularly Marvel films? Because if you do, hi, my name's Ian. I hang out with Mitch. We take a journey into mystery every single Wednesday. You can watch us live. You can listen to us later in the car when you're by yourself and you don't want to tell people you listen to podcasts about Marvel movies. That's fine. No judgment. But we're here for you. We watched all the MCU. Now we're going through all the old ones. So buckle in. Mitch is going to take us there. Boom. That's your ad right there.
Done.
Clip
Cut.
that. Use that. Put that in front of everything you want to put that in front of.
You were like in another world there. You just took off.
As Anthony Mackie would say in the bloopers to all the Avengers movies, cut the check.
Right.
Okay, so
You can listen to Journey to Mystery on your Raycons. By the way, this is spot. I wish.
we'll get there.
Thank you, Magic Bollocks.
We'll get there.
Question about Thor before we move to the next thing. Jane Foster's in this, right?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
and she's supposed to be getting the hammer. And I didn't mean that sexually.
Sure you didn't.
I mean, we don't know. It could be both.
It could be. It really could.
But I don't know. I'm kind of excited.
Same.
Feels like Natalie Portman is just like way above whatever they're going to have her do again. But at least she gets to be involved. I think that's good.
So we know in the comic books when Jane Foster gets the power of Thor, she becomes, the bigger version of herself, the more muscular version of herself. But in the MCU, when Cap grabbed Mjolnir and he's deemed worthy, did he also get the power of Thor? He didn't change body shape, but then again, Steve Rogers is already huge and at his peak physical shape. So do we get the transformed Jane Foster when we get to? I know there's that leaked studio set photo of her with the huge arms, but I don't know if those were real or what was going on with that picture.
So
I hope she doesn't have to wear fake arms.
no, it's like the episode of SpongeBob where they're just like inflatable. But I mean, Steve was throwing lightning around.
He was.
True.
You're right.
So I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
And I think that if she's gonna become if we're getting Jane Thor, then she's gonna be Thor. Like she's Thor.
Mm-hmm.
So of course she's gonna have the powers.
I feel like Natalie Portman is down to work out and commit to a role because she always commits.
Oh yeah.
So if Marvel's like, hey, we kind of want you to bulk up for this role, and they throw Marvel money at her to work out, what if we just get yoked Natalie Portman in here, just like, okay, I'm leading the Marvel universe now. What's up? You can't afford me, but I'll be the face. That's fine.
I'd be down.
Oh yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I'm loving you tonight, chat. This is a lot of fun. Sorry, I'm reading all their stuff because Case is here and he's throwing out facts. And Magic Bollocks is being Magic Bollocks. It's just a good time.
What's Case
Magic
throwing
Bollocks
out there?
that Lady Sif is going to be salty.
Ooh.
About Jane Thor.
Is Jamie Alexander coming back?
She is.
That would be cool.
I think the last report was that she was.
Case is saying just like all these different instances of people who became Thor that got Thor's powers. Superman, I guess.
Yep. JLA
Cap.
Avengers.
Cap did, but didn't change. Obviously, Beta Ray Bill did. And the list goes on.
Case, what do you think our chances of getting Kevin Masters as Thunderstrike?
I really thought you were going to say the Thunderbolts.
Not yet. I always get there.
I was going to say, it is too early in the episode, Mitch.
But
for the audience who might not know that reference you just made, who is that?
Kevin Masters Thunderstrike?
Yeah.
So at one point there is another hammer. It's called Thunderstrike. And you have a young man who takes up the role of Thor or the position that he would take up. And he calls himself Thunderstrike when he hits the hammer and gets the powers of Thor.
Oh, ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Almost King Arthur in a way.
Yeah, true. Very true. So there's that. I think this movie's going to be a lot of fun. I know we have reports that there's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy in them. We're going to have more Valkyrie. We're going to have Jane Foster. So there's going to be There's going to be a lot. I mean, obviously there's Korg, because Taika Waititi is in that picture also with the Korg head above him, and he's wearing that garb, which is just awesome. I'm all for it.
So Case just said Throg changed.
True.
And Throg is the frog of thunder.
That's right. That's a frog that looks like Thor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Just as it says on the tin. Like,
is this like same comic as Spider Pig or
similar? Yes.
Interesting.
Or Peter Parker? Yeah.
I would have to agree here, Case, as well. I think we'll get Throg in a Taika movie.
I could, what? I could see Taika throwing that in there, and we're supposed to get Beta Ray Bill, I think, too, which
would be great. Yeah. And I want him to voice I want him to voice everyone.
Taika should voice everyone.
Hi there, Throg. How are you? How's it going? What's your thing? Oh, I'm just a frog. I make thunder sounds.
No, it should be the other. Jermaine Clement should definitely have a voice in there. And then also, what's the redheaded dude?
Alan Tudyk?
No, not Alan Tudyk. The one that's...
The guy who plays their manager in Flight of the Conchords, Bernie? Yep.
I forget his name. I like him as an actor, too.
I'm looking.
Oh, is that the guy who has the Harry Potter party? And
Yes.
Yes Man?
Yes, that guy.
That guy.
That guy's great.
He's also in Jumanji. And welcome to Jumanji.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Yeah, there it
is. Forrest Darby.
Darby, no. That's right.
Yes. Rise Darby is his name.
Okay.
Riz.
Rhys?
R-H-Y-S.
Rhys Darby.
Rhys. Rias, whatever. I can't read. I'm not paid to read. I'm paid to make memes and look cute.
Ian's a Twitch gamer. No reading.
Right. I don't have to know how to read anything. Just give me your money. I'm cute.
Okay. I also wanted to talk about all of the rumored people that are going to be showing up in the next Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. Now, the most recent one that I've heard of is a direct correlation to the movie we're going to talk about today. Willem Dafoe showing up as Norman Osborn Green Goblin as the main villain to Spider-Man No Way Home. How do you feel about that? Because I do not care for that. I want Willem Dafoe to be in the movie, and I'm glad he's going to show up as Green Goblin, but he shouldn't be the main villain, right?
I agree.
Tom Holland should have his own Norman Osborn.
Yes. That's exactly where I was going with that. I think it'd be cool to get like a council of Norman Osborns. You get like 3 of them, maybe 4 of them, and they're all like, "No, I'm the real Goblin." And then you have this like weird infighting thing of like who the real Green Goblin is. But because of that, all of the spider people that are involved in this movie have to get involved. Because like just Tom Holland Spider-Man can't take on like 6 Green Goblins. That would be wild.
I mean, to me, and I think I've said it on the show before, but like you get and I'm losing his name. I'm losing actors' names all over the place here. The actor who voiced Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse movie as a more adult Miles Morales to show up and help out Peter Parker, a young Peter Parker, I think that would be pretty awesome.
I think to speak to that point, if they don't have Miles Morales and they do a Spider-Verse storyline, it's going to hurt. Like, they're not going to get good reviews. Like, it will tank the movie just in that fact alone. So if it is going to be this very timeline, all over the place, all the past villains, kind of Rise of Skywalker-esque Disney bullshit, I hope they at least do that part right, because otherwise it's going to be all for nothing no matter what. Personally, even though I don't know if he's involved at all, I think it would be cool if this is just another Mysterio and then Mysterio carries over.
Oh, that would be pretty awesome.
Would be fresh.
But I wouldn't want them to tease multiverse again like they did in the last movie, and then be like, just kidding, it's all illusions.
I get that. I do. I feel like keeping the story tethered to this trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they did bank it off Mysterio, it could still work. But at this point, you're right. Like it has to be the crazy multiverse. Like we're going all over the place. Like Alfred Molina getting told that, well, you died, but it doesn't really matter. I think that also steers towards that as well.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Ricky brings up a really good point. In this movie, will he be DeFriend or Defoe?
I mean, that would be actually quite the twist if Defoe came in to be DeFriend.
Ricky, that actually hurt me to say out loud, and I love you. So you have to know that.
Well, so how does it work with Harry Osborn then, if they're going to bring Norman Osborn back? Because Harry's always the best friend, and I mean, in the previous two, he was at least, well, he went from best friend to old best friend who shows up and is kind of a weird guy that nobody likes, and then he's non-existent in the Tom Holland ones.
This is true.
So how are they gonna? Is they just gonna leave him out like completely? You would think.
I think they're going to leave him unless they bring in their own version of the Osborns in this movie. Because I mean, technically, he's still going to be in high school, I believe, at this point. So have a new Harry Osborn, a new Norman Osborn show up, and when he has to fight the other versions, he has to look at them different and be like, "Whoa, wait, what's going on here? Do I need to worry about these guys?"
All right, now hear me out, because we've been kind of, well, it's been 2 posts, but we've been kind of think tanking this in chat for a minute. What if we had Nicholas Hammond show back up with his bodyguard, like ninja samurai guys with the kendo sticks, but he's played by Nicolas Cage?
Oh my goodness.
So Malfoy, because this is a really deep cut and because this is something I would not normally get if I only watched the movie the second time, but Hammond is the bad guy from the first like late 70s made for TV Spider-Man movie. Okay. And he's nowhere else to be seen ever again, comics or TV or anything. He's just this throwaway bad guy that has kendo stick wielding samurai bodyguards.
I mean, if I don't see kendo stick wielding samurai bodyguards in this movie, I'm going to riot.
Oh, same. Of course.
The bar is set, Disney. We all know you listen.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a running thing that I talk directly to Disney and Marvel many times. So hey, fix yourself, Marvel.
You have time.
We'll talk about this. We've had the whole pandemic and you haven't hit me up. I'm upset.
But yes, Alfred Molina has confirmed through interview that he is going to be there. He's even talked about him being on set. Jamie Foxx has confirmed that he's going to be in there as Electro. We have not gotten any confirms of Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield showing up.
Sure.
I think Emma Stone straight up denied that she's in the movie. And that was when she was
dead, so like it's okay.
There you go. Her Gwen Stacy is dead.
I think this is another Harry thing too, because like Gwen Stacy doesn't exist either.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like there's really no need to have a mirror if there isn't one anyway.
True.
Kirsten Dunst would make sense because MJ, right?
Right. That would be interesting. Like, what do you mean your name is Mary Jane? Her name is Michelle.
But you both go by MJ. It works.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
They fill a similar role.
And Sony has come out and said that this is going to open up their universe, their how do they put it? Marvel universe, or their Sony universe of Marvel characters for a multiverse. So it will make it so that all the characters connect, Venom and Spider-Man and all that stuff that's going to be adjacent MCU stuff will be more tightly woven in.
Okay, hear me out. if Venom can come into this, right? Then we need the Venom mirror. We need Topher Grace back.
No.
Malfoy said no.
Yeah, Malfoy said hard no, but I agree with that.
I don't even think Topher Grace wants that. Okay.
But I mean, where is it? Dearest Topher, you don't have a choice. Get in the symbiote. Come on, get in the symbiote.
My spider sense is tingling, if you know what I'm saying. Get out of here, dude.
Excuse me, Malfoy, spoilers for a movie we haven't watched on the podcast yet.
True.
That was actually a really great impression there.
It really was.
I thought Topher Grace was in the room.
Thanks. I'll take that.
I mean, he does have a new sitcom on television right now, so he might not need the money yet.
Ugh.
I mean,
He can just put out his re-edit of The Hobbit if he wants.
Does he have a
re-edit
re-edit
The
of The Hobbit too? I know he did Star Wars.
Oh, was it Star Wars then? I thought he did The Hobbit, but he did something as like a therapy while he was being a KKK member for Black Klansman.
Oh, really? Yeah, I know he did Star Wars. I didn't know if he did. I don't know if he did Hobbit or not.
But yeah, he makes his own edits. So if he can just put those out, that'd be cool.
release the Topher Grace cut.
The
Is that
Topher cut.
New hashtag.
That's right.
Starting it now.
That's it. Case, you have a bigger following than I do. I think Malfoy's actually tweeting it right now. I'm gonna go retweet it.
All right. Any other characters you would love to see show up in this Spider-Man No Way Home movie, which comes out in December? We don't have a trailer yet, but this movie's coming out in December.
Yeah, they'll probably Comic-Con it. I mean, they don't really need to put out a trailer. It's Spider-Man, right? Like, we're all gonna go see it.
It's true, but it's Sony. It's not Disney. So like, they're gonna want to promote the hell out of it.
That's true. I don't know. I hate it because I know they're gonna spoil shit in their trailers. That's why I'm like, put it out in November. Like, give me time to think. But I think it would be cool if we got, because we haven't. Well, I guess maybe this would be an antithesis of what I was saying before. But if they had Uncle Ben, one of the Uncle Ben show up, would be pretty big. But I don't know if they need it because Uncle Ben is skipped over in this as well. So there's no mirror.
That's true. That's true. I mean, they could easily use. I don't know if that first actor who played Uncle Ben is still alive or not. But they could use Amazing Spider-Man's Uncle Ben, which is I want to say Jed Bartlett because he played Jed Bartlett in West Wing for so long, and I can't think of Martin Sheen. They could use Martin Sheen as because they use J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson again, so they could easily go back to that well.
Are you guys on board with that? I forgot to ask.
The J.K. Simmons part?
Yeah, being the cameo of being like the same J. Jonah Jameson in this one as well.
I'm on board with that. I have no beef. J.K. Simmons is the only J. Jonah Jameson that could ever be cast. Show me someone else who could do the role, and I'll show you a liar.
I mean, it was pretty iconic for them to bring him back in the second movie. The fact that they made him into
InfoWars.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that they made him into an InfoWars kind of guy instead of the newspaper, like, was just like perfect.
Yeah, I kind of at first I was like, oh, really? And then after a moment, I was like, no, they really couldn't recast. And also this, you're right, with the InfoWars thing, like that joke, like was worth it. But it was just one of those, like, anytime they do cameos like that, it just feels cheap now. I don't know if I'm just too cynical, but like anytime that happens, I'm like, yeah, okay.
So I know that you waited a while before you watched Far From Home. Was that part spoiled for you?
No.
Really?
It was a complete shock. I had no idea.
Okay. Awesome.
You're welcome. I could have told you, but I didn't.
Yeah, thank you.
I hold your viewing experience in my hand. like a baby bird fresh out of the egg. I allow it to exist. That's the only reason that it exists in this world, because I let it.
Thank you, Godfather.
I think that's way too much power for one person to have.
Okay, so Ricky just said that OG Uncle Ben is dead. So like, rest in peace, Uncle Ben. But who would you recast, and why is it Tom Cruise?
I'm glad Andy showed up.
No.
With Marissa Tomei looking the way that she does, would Tom Cruise be that out of the picture?
No,
Like-
it would not. It would not.
There's no scenes that make sense for Uncle Ben to be sprinting somewhere.
You don't know.
The bugger was like trying to catch up to him.
With his perfect running form.
You know how this time travel is going to take place. What if there's a lot of running?
Uncle Ben is actually Spider-Man.
Oh, there it is.
What?
It's Uncle
Boom.
Spider.
Uncle Spider also hangs out with Uncle Cracker for some reason.
All day long. Just listening to that. I don't know. Who would make a good Uncle Ben in the new universe? First thing that came to mind was Dylan McDermott for some reason. I don't know why.
Dylan McDermott.
So this
Face.
can't happen, because you're going to understand why it can't happen when I say who it is. But you asked that, and the first face that came to mind was Dale Gribble from King of the Hill.
Pocket sand.
Yeah.
I'm down with the Dylan McDermott.
Yeah,
pick.
right. I don't know why that face came straight to my mind first, but that's who I went with.
Have you seen Perks of Being a Wallflower?
I have.
That dad has Uncle Ben energy for sure.
Oh, it's been a while. I have to look that up.
No, it's him. It's his character. It's Dylan McDermott.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that. When you said that, I was like, yeah, totally. Just redo Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Ricky wants Joe, I can never say his last name, Manganiello.
Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
After being Flash, he comes back to be Uncle Ben, like the biggest Uncle Ben ever.
I love that. Or you know what? Give me Warburton.
Ooh,
Interesting.
that would be
Peter.
interesting.
Peter, great power comes great responsibility. You need you to
pretty
think about
good.
that. Hey,
That was pretty
all
awesome.
right. It's the simple, like, kind of breathy names that you can say. Peter.
Yeah. You just sound like Joe now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same. That's the character. A guy tried to steal my car, but I shot him instead.
Yeah, that's a good impression.
It was a sad day.
I mean, what's the Ray Romano's brother in Everybody Loves Raymond? Brad Garrett. There you go.
It's just
Jimmy
Ray Romano.
Johnson.
It's just Ray Romano. Peter, come on. Peter. I'm trying to teach you lessons. Peter, I'm trying to teach you lessons. Aunt May.
His brother is in the Jimmy John's commercials now. He's
That's
doing,
right.
Like,
That's right.
a
Yeah.
really thick New York accent the whole time. It's great.
I'm trying to teach this kid how to be spun. Nah, you got a knack.
All right. We've went long enough. Let's go ahead and start talking about Spider-Man
Yes.
2002. 2002. There it is.
There it is.
Oh man.
What were your thoughts when you first saw this trailer? If you can remember that far back, 20 years ago.
I just remember going, hell yeah, Spider-Man.
I did not see the trailer before I saw the movie. And I don't think I saw the trailer until like later. I looked it up on YouTube. Because I think there were two, right? They had to take one down.
They did have to take one down because he used the Twin Towers as a webbing to web up a helicopter. I remember because and I'm dating myself, was working at Blockbuster at the time, and we had they right in front of A Knight's Tale. They had that trailer, and the day before we had to take all of those down before they came out and like send them back.
I'm jealous that you got to work at Blockbuster.
I mean,
great is A Knight's Tale, by the way.
Knight's Tale is
great.
amazing.
Also,
yes,
awesome
amazing movie.
When Journey into Mystery is done, we're gonna take a side journey into mystery that's just like, how great is A Knight's Tale?
This special Knight's Tale episode,
but for like 30 episodes.
Yeah,
we're just gonna go into each individual character, and we're gonna come up with all their lives after that movie.
No, it's just the same episode every week.
Okay.
You just get excited about A Knight's Tale every week. That's the whole show.
You could do the other thing that people do. They just take 1 minute of a movie and talk about that 1 minute for an hour, and then the next week is the next minute. You just do a minute.
I mean, that's kind of cool, but also insane.
But Spider-Man in 2002. So then, if you didn't see the trailer, what were your first thoughts going into the theater, Malfoy?
This dude in the red spider costume looks cool. To date myself, 2002, I think I was 6 when I saw this movie.
So no like pre-exposure to Spider-Man, really? No,
this was like my 4th trip to the movie theater. It's my first time going with my mom. We had lunch afterwards. A very memorable day. But yeah, no, I just went in like, Mom, I want to go to the movies because I love movies now. And this one looks cool. And she was like, sure, we can go see that. I'm sure it's not anything crazy. I don't know if this movie is that bad for 6-year-olds. I think it's pretty fine.
It does have one of the hottest like on-screen kisses of all time.
I mean, it won like MTV Movie Awards Kiss of the Year.
I'm pretty sure they still show it when they flash the like whatever graphic for the vote too.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
The OG. But yeah, no, I love this movie. I don't know that the trailer would have gotten me more excited. I mean, I was 6. I was down.
So some chime in from chat here. Ricky says that this was her intro to comic book heroes, and she was like, "Yo, this is rad." And Case says, and I quote, "I skipped school to go see it, and then still made it back for calc because I was scared of my calc teacher," which seems very on brand for Case.
I remember going to like the movie theater like 6 times in that first week going to see this movie. Like this movie was just everything I wanted from a comic book movie. I mean, they changed up a couple things. Like we had the bio web shooters instead of mechanical ones, but other than that, it was Spider-Man. Like even X-Men before this in 2001. Or 2000 had changed up things. Like it changed up the lineup of the X-Men. It changed up, origins and all that stuff. But this was it. I was like, wow, this is what we could actually get from a comic book adaptation, and from the guy who made Evil Dead of all things, Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. Actually, at this point, all I'd ever seen was Army of Darkness. I hadn't seen the Evil Dead yet.
Army of Darkness is great, so like that's not a problem.
No, you definitely get that humor in there.
So Magic Bollocks wants to know, is Tobey Maguire anybody's favorite Spider-Man? To which Garrett instantly responded with, Tobey Maguire isn't even Tobey Maguire's favorite Spider-Man.
He's not.
And
that's tough. That is tough.
Tobey Maguire.
Are we going to treat Peter and Spider-Man differently because they're two like personas?
Yeah.
Then no, he's not my favorite Spider-Man. No.
No, he was a great Peter Parker.
He's a great Peter Parker. He's my favorite Peter Parker.
I would say that too.
He's an okay. He's an okay Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's better than okay. I don't think any of them did a terrible job.
No.
Really.
I'm not a fan of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield? No. His Spider-Man was fine. I didn't like his Peter Parker because he was cool.
Yeah, his Peter Parker was terrible. Cool. Yeah. His Peter Parker skateboards. Like, no, that's not Peter Parker. I was all about his Spider-Man though. I thought his Spider-Man was great. Like the quips came off great. Like I saw. We'll get to that when we talk about Amazing Spider-Man. But so since we just recently watched this again, how does the special effects and all that hold up for the two of you?
Shockingly well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely well. And I think that speaks to the color design too. That was the thing I noticed is like they went very simple with all the and then bumped the color saturation way up a lot of times. Like even look at Kirsten Dunst's hair, right? Like it's like a blood red, like not even like a redhead.
Yeah.
But then also like you look at the human spider costume, it's just a red shirt with some blue here and there and then a red ski mask. It's very blocky, the same color. So when it's super dark out, like even though it's dated, like you can tell, I'm not going to say it looks like it could have came out last year, but it fits. Like it's almost like you wouldn't want it to look better, like, or at least I didn't think it needed to look any better.
Speaking of the human spider costume, I catch myself doing the bone saw is ready all the time, like all the time.
Ricky was actually, I think she was first in chat today with Bonesaw is ready. Yep. Right after we went live, that's what she said right there.
I mean, it's such
I got
a
you
good
for
part.
3 minutes. It's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace to the Macho Man.
Oh.
Like, I missed Macho Man dearly, except for the end of his career. But we're not going to talk about the end of his career because that was just weird. He definitely in this role proved that the cream does rise to the top. Yeah. And
okay,
you need to snap it to a Slim Jim.
There's a part of that scene that I want to touch on briefly because this may have been the most inappropriate part of the movie for a 6-year-old to watch. It's just when he's walking to the ring and all of those women are just embarrassing him and berating him until he got to the ring. My first thought was like, somebody's into this. I am sure of it.
Yeah, there's that one guy in the ring who's just like, oh, he's so lucky.
Yeah. Yell at me.
Oh, if I could be Peter Parker in this moment.
I appreciate too, because like it wasn't campy when they do the Amazing Spider-Man. Like you feel like that should be like an eye roll or like roll credits moment, but like when
Bruce Campbell.
Wow, Bruce Campbell, thank you.
Yeah.
Says it, you're just like, yeah, that's exactly what this guy would say.
And honestly,
it took me
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say it took me a moment to realize that's what had just happened too.
And that's the power of Bruce Campbell. Like that is his voice and his delivery of just like like doing his best Bruce Buffer, like kind of thing of, it's perfect. You're right.
I just realized that that's Bruce Campbell.
Yep. That's his cameo in this movie.
I'm so upset that I haven't noticed that. Damn it!
I mean, his cameo on the second one's better, but that's most things. So we'll get to that one on the next show.
So real quick question, because we're going back through all of the like Marvel properties and everything like that. Tensby just pointed it out to me. We don't have Italiano Spider-Man on our list of movies that we need to watch.
I mean, you're absolutely right. It was not on the Wikipedia page of Marvel movies that don't belong in the MCU, so I guess I must have just.
I
must have passed it up. Like
it's got action and suspenso and Goblin. Like
I think
I have yet to see that as well.
I have never seen it.
Oh my God, Malfoy, what? Anybody in chat who hasn't seen Italiano Spider-Man, it's less than an hour long. It was somebody's college film project. It involves luchadors.
I think right now what you're doing is a pitch in season 3, so I think that's where we're at.
Also, Japanese Spider-Man is great.
Yep. Get some Bollywood Spider-Man in there.
The emissary of death. That's Japanese Spider-Man. But anyway, hooray, season 3. That's what Garrett just said. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Emissary from Hell. That's what it is.
So, the most, like, for me, the most unbelievable part, and I know it's dumb to be talking about an unbelievable part in a movie where a kid gets bit by a spider and gets spider powers. He sews that suit together himself.
See, that is crazy for sure. Like, it definitely implies this kid should have way higher skills and should be getting a job much easier. But he also is just immediately good at hand-to-hand combat, which blows my mind.
Right, and I think that's the addition of the spider sense is you can be good at hand-to-hand combat if you know where the punch is coming from.
But then also, like, that whole car chase scene, like, blows my mind. Like, he is so expertly swinging through and then, like, doing all these, like, kicks and landing on cars, and, like, I'm just like, dude, this is your first time. This is awesome. Good for you.
I mean, like, you ain't never had just, like, an innate talent of something? Like, he's Peter Parker. I mean, he's a photographer and he's a scientist, but, like, first and foremost, he has dormant physical capabilities that just needed a little bit of spider DNA to wake them up.
Yep, that's the first thing I think of when I think of Peter Parker is dormant physical abilities.
And sewing.
But, like, I love that scene where we get to see him use his spider senses for the first time, and it's against Flash Thompson, right? Like, oh, I wouldn't want to fight me either, Joe Manganiello. And he just, like, throws that punch, and he looks at it like Tobey Maguire plays that off so well. Sam Raimi directs that scene so well.
He looks at that punch like, bitch!
Like, what is this?
Wait, am I doing this?
And then just grabs his wrist, turns it, punches him against the locker. Like, and of course, everybody's like, "Oh man, that guy's a freak!" Like, well,
which is stupid, right? Because it's like, so you think he's a freak because he didn't lose this time,
right?
Like,
exactly.
He didn't get his ass beat, so he's fucking crazy. Like, what are we talking about?
What we need to do is we need to go back and re-edit that scene with the Napoleon Dynamite, like, break the wrist, walk away. Break the wrist, walk away.
Was it
Try to hit me.
Rex Kwon Do?
Rex Kwon Do.
Oh man.
Do you think it was a mistake to have the Green Goblin as the first villain?
No.
I mean, what foresight would they have had to know they were going to get another one? And Green Goblin's like probably the easiest, right? He's the big one.
He's the big one. Just like in 1989 Batman, you know, you use the Joker in the first Batman movie out. So you use the big villain. That's your thinking.
Yeah, I think that had to have been, like, I don't think they thought they were getting a sequel, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they were hoping they would.
Yeah, but I don't think they planned for it.
No.
Like, they didn't have the trilogy planned out. Well, obviously, but yeah, that wasn't something that they were like banking on getting Doc Ock in the sequel or something.
Tell us how you really feel about them not having a plan for the trilogy. There.
Third movie.
What? we'll get to that.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
It wouldn't have made sense if you tried to do the movie with, like, Rhino.
Yeah.
Or, like, I'm trying to think of other, like, you couldn't have done Mysterio. Maybe you could have done Mysterio for this one.
That was the big rumor that Bruce Campbell was going to be Mysterio for the longest time.
Which would have been so sick. Are you kidding me?
And that, like, the 3 cameos that he had were, like, all part of Mysterio kind of just playing a prank on Peter Parker.
I've been next to you the whole time.
Yeah.
Very Mysterio.
But I think Green Goblin works with the theme of this movie specifically, though, because I think this movie is about like consequences of your obsessions. So what Green Goblin becomes, also like transforming. Peter's like, this is a coming of age movie for him too. Like, so there's a different way you can look at transforming throughout the movie too. But like the monsters and the consequences of collateral damage from science, maybe specifically, I don't know.
Science.
But then the opposite ends of that, because it's got to be somewhat relatable, same v same type stuff. So Norman Osborn was kind of perfect, because the way that they did him having to commit to his science experiment with the gamma ray stuff, like I mean, this movie's awesome. Like the script, I think works so well. I don't know if they could have just substituted somebody in and got the same effect. Like I'm sure there are other transforming. Like they could have done the lizard, right? Kurt Connors.
Yep. Which we
probably
got
had the same success.
Yeah. No, I don't think you would have got the same success. I think you're absolutely right that you had to go with the big bad. You had to go with the person that is known.
Yeah.
And would I have liked to see a different villain, like a different Spider-Man bad guy? I mean, sure, but I think that's me looking back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like thinking, we've seen Goblin so much.
Well, this movie also does the thing that we've now deemed kind of a cardinal sin for these comic book movies of killing off its villain at the end of the movie, right?
Yup. I was going to bring that up because, how the hell are you supposed to bring him back if you killed him?
But in this particular franchise, they do a good job of bringing back Willem Dafoe's Norman Osborn. Yes, it's all psychosis inside of Harry's head, but what a way to bring him back.
And I liked the way that they played the relationship between the Osborns there. And like I guess we're not there yet, but like the building jealousy between that Harry has for Peter when it comes to his own father.
Oh, this poor guy has never stood a chance. He tried so hard to fit in and be another person. He just wanted to be like his friends, and they wouldn't let him. His dad wouldn't let him. And then every turn of the way, it looked like people were stabbing him in the back or using him for something. Like, this dude, he never stood a chance. And then on their graduation, his dad starts giving this speech about, I wrote it down in a second. Commencement. The end of one thing and the start of something new. He gives this speech, and then it cuts to Harry looking dejected, and then he starts to pursue MJ. So it's like this whole, like, Peter inadvertently steals his dad, so he's going to steal from Peter. This movie kicks so much ass.
I mean, James Franco as Harry Osborn plays well off of Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. Like you believe in their friendship, and then you also believe in the unwilling rivalry between the two of them, like the unknowing rivalry. Norman Osborn definitely pits the two of them against each other. Peter might not know of it, but like Harry's being compared to him often, right? Like he comes in and Norman's like, I hear you're very good at science. I'm somewhat of a scientist myself. Like, doesn't talk to his son that way. He talks to this guy that he barely knows but has all this respect for.
Yeah. And the immediate just grin on his face when Peter says, "Oh yeah, I read your work. I wrote a paper on it."
That's right.
He's like, "You understood it?" And then just like, "Okay, my son's not even here right now." It's crazy. Harry never stood a chance.
I'm something of a podcaster myself.
I remember and it plays out the same way in watching it this time around, but the Thanksgiving scene, like, it's so intense. Just everybody, the knowing and not knowing, who knows, who doesn't know what's happening in the scene. Oh, Peter's been up in his bedroom this whole time? That didn't, never even saw him come in. Like, it's all just, I don't know. I love the way that scene plays out.
I like when Aunt May calls him on bleeding through his shirt. And then, Norman's just like, oh, you sack of shit. We've been out here chasing each other around. Like, he puts everything together right then. And it's just like, oh, damn. How'd you thought it happened? Got hit by a bike messenger. And the whole conversation was like, stop asking fucking questions.
Yeah.
Which is very much mirrored in the Spider-Man Homecoming scenes, right? Between the Vulture and Tom Holland's Peter Parker. Like, it's, oh, I'm going to go ahead and drive you to the prom. Oh, no, I don't need you to. Yep. Yeah, I'm driving you. Like, that's how it's happening now.
I'm going to do it. And then we're going to have a conversation about how I might just murder you.
And both scenes do a great job of letting the actor, as they like the character figures it out, their reaction is what tells the audience that they figured it out. There's no like verbal cue. No one's saying like, haha, I got it. Like they're letting you understand like subtle things are happening. And if you know, you know.
There's no point in your Spider-Man.
Yeah.
How great of a scene would that have been if we got J. Jonah Jameson going, ha, you're Spider-Man.
Speaking of, great character moment for J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh,
Goblin
yes.
asks him who takes his pictures, and he doesn't give him up.
No,
Yeah.
it shows that J. Jonah Jameson has integrity. He just is like a dog with a bone. He wants more pictures of Spider-Man. Like he needs to have that menace unmasked. But yeah, he's not going to give up Peter Parker. That's not who he is.
If Spider-Man had an OnlyFans, would J. Jonah Jameson subscribe because he just wants those pictures?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Then he wouldn't have to pay Peter. He could just have the subscription.
But he doesn't know that he is still
Spider-Man,
he's still paying Peter for.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of like Spider-Man lewds making it onto the front page of the Daily Bugle.
See how much of a menace this guy is? Yeah.
Some role model.
But yes, the J. Jonah Jameson, J.K. Simmons is perfect casting, as we said before. Ted Raimi, Sam Raimi's brother, coming in as what is he? He's a reporter, a publisher. I don't know what he is, but he comes in and he's always being rejected. Right? Get out of here!
Oh yeah. One of the copy guys.
Yeah.
He comes in. He's like, "We have a problem with an ad. It was supposed to be a 3/4. You know what? Shut up. Move this one to page 7. That one to page 6. Like save him a quarter of the price, or whatever." And he's like, "Okay," he's like, "Leave." Like I love that.
I like when he goes
here?
back. He goes back on his price too. He's like, "We'll give him 25%. Nope, we can't do that. We'll go 10%."
I want to know how much of that was actually scripted for JJ.
That's a good question. I don't know that. That's
I feel like you kind of words are hard. You take J.K. Simmons and go, "All right, you're cheap. You're running a newspaper. You want pictures of Spider-Man, and go."
I mean, I'm sure he would have had some ad libs, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know if he was at that point in his career yet. This was probably his breakout, right?
well, I think Oz and Law and Order were more of his breakout, but like I think for film, I think you're right. It definitely makes him more of a household name.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, young Elizabeth Banks as Betty Brant, secretary to J. Jonah Jameson. Like we get Joe Manganiello, James Franco, Elizabeth Banks in this movie. Like
there's a lot of random cameos. Like Jim Norton is the comedian Jim Norton. He's one of the trash guys. Octavia Spencer is working the table before the fight for the wrestling thing.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Who else? The Stan Lee cameo. I think it's just him saving the kid, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's really quick. Like
really
if you aren't looking, you absolutely missed that one.
I mean, this is back at the beginning when the cameos were really quick. He didn't even have talking parts.
Who
now,
else?
A part that might have been inappropriate for kids, as you brought up, Malfoy, would have been, to me, might have been when the Goblin kills all the Oscorp people up on the balcony. Like he throws the Goblin bomb, the pumpkin bomb, and they turn into skeletons. Like I feel like, and obviously I was in college when the movie came out, but like for a kid that might have been scary.
As the kid who saw it, I saw it and went, "Whoa!" Like we don't mess with the Goblin. Like the Goblin is obviously a bad guy, so it makes sense that the bad guy would have something that just kills people.
Yep.
I think I had the same reaction. Really, I was just like, "Whoa!" I mean, the movie kind of set it up. He already shot the what? Do you think that was a Rhino prototype, the little hoverback thing that the general gets ambushed at?
I didn't think about that. It could have been
A Rhino prototype.
I was just thinking roughly just on shape.
Yeah.
It looked kind of like maybe like a, I don't know.
It could be.
So they just eventually decide, like, nah, hover's a little too crazy. We'll just make it like a big walking tank.
Yeah, and it was gray. I mean, I might have just been like generalizing.
No,
Just,
it could be an idea.
But yeah,
Um,
I think that scene's scarier. Like when the pilot recognizes that there's a missile inbound and he gets scared, and then you see him blow up. He's like recognizing certain doom. But after that, yeah, once they, I think it was kind of a given that all those people were going to die. After that court, they're like, yeah, you're out. I'm like, yeah, no, you guys are dead. You don't even know.
I mean, but there's one thing for dying off camera. There's another thing for an explosion and you see their skeletons and then they just disintegrate. Like, to me, that I thought that might be it.
Yeah, that's pretty. You're right. No, that I definitely should not have saw that as a 6-year-old. But that scene too. Thinking of Harry and MJ, the moment where he's like, "I wish you would have wore the black dress." That scene for me felt so like, Harry, I want to be on your side, and in that scene they take it from me, because like I was saying before, he's like, he never stood a chance, and I kind of sympathize with the way people treat him, but in that moment I'm just like, bro, don't be gross.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep. And that's him chasing that father respect, like, right? Like, I have to do everything so that my dad will finally recognize me, and it's making him gross. So I get what you're saying.
And I think it's right after that where we get the phone call of him like, well, I'm taking you out. I'm going to buy you something. Because it'll make you feel... It's like, it's not going to make her feel... It's going to make you feel more in control of the situation. You're disgusting.
Yeah.
Stop being gross and just appreciate that you have a very attractive girlfriend.
Which reminds me, the scene when Peter runs into MJ outside the diner and she's like, she's walking away, and I don't know if it's just bad ADR or if it's just the way that Kirsten Dunst said the line that day, but the "don't tell Harry," like, she throws in a weird accent right there, and it just always throws me off.
I know what you're saying, because I used to think like, wow, why did she say that like a child?
Yeah.
Like she puts a weird like kitty thing, like playful. Maybe she's just trying to be playful and it came off odd, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. It definitely felt like, what?
Well,
what's going on there?
I got like a really awkward vibe where she's like, yeah, we went to high school, but I don't really know you like that. Why you approach me on the street? This is weird. And then he gets really like, he's like cool about it. And then at the end of the conversation, that's when he gets weird. He's like, I won't tell Harry. And she's like, ha ha ha, yeah. All right. See you, bud.
Straight up creeper.
Right.
The second time that they run into each other, when he takes 2 trains and a bus to get over there just to be in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That whole conversation is like, I wrote a note where I was just like, who do I like more, honestly? Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane? Because when he's like, oh, it's none of my business, and she's like, isn't it though? Like, that moment, I'm like, fuck, I love Mary Jane so much.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite scene from this movie? Go.
Ooh.
I don't know why I love the scene. I think it's just the reaction that Aunt May has to it. It always makes me laugh when Goblin shows up at the house and sends her to the hospital. Because she's like in the middle of praying and he's like, eh! And she's like, ah, Satan. And like, it makes me laugh.
The fact that he throws... Sorry.
No, go for it.
Yeah, the fact that he throws in the "finish it," like, I was like, it always like, ooh, it's so weird. It just creeps me the hell out when he says that too.
It's just like, what is this?
It's just adding the horror element to it. It's got to have some sort of religious backbone.
Yep. I'm in. I'm in for that scene. I'm glad you picked it.
Yeah, that scene's great.
Number one favorite scene though has to be the amateur wrestling. Because getting the Macho Man to be this like underground wrestler who's a big time like peak of his career wrestler operating not as professional wrestling operates.
No, you don't just to get a civilian in there for 3 minutes and see how much you could kick the crap out of them.
They toss him a chair, and then Peter's just taking like the stiffest chair shots to the dome. And then they give him a crowbar.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're trying to kill this kid. What the hell?
And then the promoter only gives him what, $100?
$100? Yeah. That's $3,000 for 3 minutes. You did 2 minutes, so that's $100. No. By this logic, that's $2,000. Come on now. Don't be a turd.
It's easy math. And then the Peter has that line in there. I forget what's the beginning part. He goes,
I failed to see how that's my problem.
well, not that part, but when he's in the actual cage and he's like, I like your hair. Did your wife do it or something like that?
I like your outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
That's what it was. Yeah. I don't know. It's always just like it's Tobey Maguire's attempt to do the wisecracking, and it doesn't quite work.
I didn't know that Spider-Man was homophobic. So
I know, right? That's terrible.
I wrote down gay jokes in my notes when that happened.
2002.
Magic Bollock says Peter was not progressive.
No.
But to the point of the cracking jokes, like the Spider-Man gap between who Peter is that Toby excels at, and then when he's Spider-Man, it just doesn't feel like the same person. There's like, it's too far. I feel like this Peter wouldn't make those jokes.
Right. You're right. I think you're absolutely right. What is your favorite scene, Malfoy?
Okay, so my favorite scenes from all three of these movies are the smaller character scenes, not necessarily the action moments. So I gotta go with the OG, the Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility scene.
It's a good scene.
It still gives me chills every time I watch it. It's the best. No one will ever come close.
That scene breaks my heart, like in the car outside of the library where he's like, look, I'm not your dad. He's like, stop pretending to be. It's like, oh my God, this dude raised you. He said you moved in at 6 years old and you're about to graduate high school. What a turd. Like, who are you?
It hurts every time.
Somebody come get this boy before I hurt him. Like,
no, you have another one?
Another scene. Let's go with another moment when Peter takes out the trash and he very earnestly and very confidently gushes about her performing when she was younger and then just completely commits.
Yep.
He's not embarrassed. He's not worried. He is just completely honest with her. And I love it so much.
that is a good moment because you see the confidence that he could have.
Right.
If he wasn't so awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And then, everybody else has to get involved and there's the new car and everything sucks. And
a great character moment for Mary Jane as well, because she's saying she wants to be an actress and it's like this weird surprise, but then she leaves afterwards and the implication is like she's acting her whole life. Like her being with Flash is this performance.
Especially because you see it multiple times throughout the beginning of the movie where she goes from being self-conscious, insecure, crying to just switching it around like, oh, hey, what's up? How's it going? It's like beautiful. And it's such a small thing, but it's gorgeous.
Mine are definitely the scenes when he's first getting his spider powers. So coming down the stairs and doing the little like run up the wall, the catching all the food after MJ slips, and then just trying to get the webbing to come out of his hands. Like you get the go web go.
Go web go.
Nice.
Like the origin story scenes, the scenes of like trying to get everything to start to work right, like is the stuff that always gets me. So
up and away web.
Yeah.
Fly. That's my favorite one.
Away. Shazam.
Fly.
When he hits the wall, I definitely appreciated that when I was little. That was like, I laughed really hard at that.
I just caught this one though. It's him hitting a windshield.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's a bug hitting a windshield because the billboard is of a lady driving a car.
Oh my
and he
goodness.
hits the windshield.
Wow.
Yep. Did not put
That's
that
awesome.
together.
So, like, well played.
I like that.
Good on you, Sam Raimi. Good on you.
Right.
What is
Chad, do y'all have any favorite moments?
Yes, please.
Like, while we're going through other stuff, do y'all have any favorite moments from this? And if you are listening to this in the future, I could have asked you, but you're not here. So, like, that's on you.
That's on
I have
you.
a question. I have a question that's kind of not very specific to this movie, but it does apply.
Okay.
I miss slow credit sequences at the start of films that take their time and have visuals that kind of give you a vibe or like a sense of what you're going into. Because the opening credits with the webs coming in and then getting like the kind of quick character drawings and stuff, they do it in the next movie too. I love that. And the opening credits also take quite a bit of time. You're like sitting there getting ready like, yes, I'm watching Spider-Man. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but I did appreciate it.
I think you're right. I think it gets you into the good head space for this movie, and I feel like this and the first X-Men movies did that too. Like the X-Men movies did it with all the genome stuff and DNA, whereas this one does it with spider webs.
And, like, I'm about that. But sometimes they're a little too long of the sequence. And I'm like, we get it. A lot of cool people worked on this, and these visuals are tight, but, like, I'm here for a movie. I'm going to see all of these people's names at the end again anyway.
It's for the late people that we're still getting popcorn.
Well, they suck. Learn to be on time.
What's the toy? I mean, I know there was a bunch of toys that came out of this movie, but what's the toy that you want?
Well, I had a playset like diorama that was the final battle between like Spider-Man and the Goblin. And it was like beat up, like battle torn suit in that like busted up wall and everything. And it had little pegs so you could like pose Spider-Man because it was like completely articulated. So you could like pose him all crazy on this little set. And I was like, I like that a lot. I spent a lot of time playing with that toy.
I played a lot with wrestlers, like action figure wrestlers when I was little, and superheroes just got added. Like there's like, yeah, Spider-Man's on WWE this week, sure. But yeah, I had a couple of Spider-Man action figures over the years.
Yo, okay, so if Spider-Man showed up on WWE, I would watch the shit out of that story arc.
Nobody would win. It's literally a superhero. Like, what are you gonna do?
Aren't wrestlers just superheroes and supervillains?
They don't literally have superpowers, is my point, though.
Yeah, but like, Spider-Man would agree to like, all right, so I'm not going to use webs. I'm just going to beat you up.
Still can kill somebody with a punch to the face.
Yeah, but like, so could any other wrestler if you believe it.
That's the key. That last line there. If you believe it.
Yeah, so like, whatever.
Well, that's why the Marvel universe, the Marvel comic book universe, has the powered wrestlers. Like they have the wrestling league that has people with powers in it.
I love that.
Really?
Yeah.
That feels like a fun, like, I don't know, TV mini episode, like holiday special thing that needs to happen. I don't know.
I'm all for
It's
it.
like, it's like people talk shit about that movie Real Steel, like that's just Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
I love that movie.
But I would watch the shit out of that.
Any uplifting movie with Hugh Jackman in it is probably awesome. Like, have you guys seen Eddie the Eagle?
Yep.
You will cry at the end of that movie, guaranteed. I love it so much. And they're happy tears, by the way.
I cry at Greatest Showman every time I watch it.
So I'm saying Hugh Jackman, he's magic.
He's a magic man. I was gonna go the same direction. I want the Bonesaw and Human Spider wrestling playset, like just the cage and everything. Like I think that'd be a lot of fun. That final scene, the death of the Green Goblin, and the betrayal that Harry sees when Spider-Man is dropping off the dead body. Like, how does that sit with you for the end of the movie? Obviously, Green Goblin does himself in by trying to get the last blow in on Peter Parker or on Spider-Man, but
that seems pretty not child friendly as well. Now that if we're gonna keep talking about that,
I feel like Spider-Man didn't have to take the body back to the house. I feel like he could have just been like, somebody dead.
Come pick up your boy.
I don't know about that, because like it would be pretty. I would feel disrespectful if you left your best friend's dad dead in a random ruin somewhere for nobody to find ever.
Even if he tried to kill you?
Yeah, that's the caveat, Malfoy. The dude tried to kill you.
But Peter Parker is better than the average person.
Peter Parker's just better than you, and you should just recognize that.
What, you think you're better than me?
Peter Parker's better than most people. Let's be honest.
If Peter Parker's better than me, how am I supposed to feed my kids? Huh? You think you're better than me? No? Whatever.
Peter Parker's better than me.
Damn right he is. You suck. No, the homie just tried to kill you. Sure, he's your best friend's dad, but if your best friend's dad is some like supervillain and you are a superhero, all bets are off, dude. Granted, in Spider-Man Homecoming, he goes out of his way to save Vulture because that's his not girlfriend's dad, right? And like, it'd be wrong to just let some dude die, but Spider-Man didn't kill him. He killed himself.
He just moved out of the way.
Both times in this movie.
Yes.
Yep.
With Uncle Ben's killer as well.
Yeah. He doesn't kill people. He just happens to not be in the way of them dying.
I mean, that's Batman and Batman Begins too.
I don't have to save you.
Yeah.
It's not the right message. That's for sure.
Definitely.
What do we want to see? And that's kind of how we started off this conversation. What do we want to see in the coming phases of the MCU that we saw in this movie? I want to see Green Goblin.
Yeah.
See, I want to see Green Goblin and Hobgoblin at the same time.
Okay.
Oh, that would be sick.
Like, I want them to pull some like father-son shenanigans.
See, but I have a hang up with that because it feels like that only would exist for fan service to people who like the Raimi films. Because there's really no reason for that to happen with the current Spider-Man.
So I don't think Harry was ever known as the Hobgoblin. I think he took on...
No, he was just Green Goblin.
Green Goblin and New Goblin. But Hobgoblin would be Ned. Well, not Ned, but Ned. But Hobgoblin, yes, sure. Let's get... What's the other guy's name that plays... That is the... It doesn't matter. Get the Hobgoblin... Yep. Come on, Case. What's the name of the other guy who wears the Hobgoblin costume?
Time is money. Money is power. Power is pizza. Come on, Case. Let's go.
We're getting pizza?
Maybe.
So, if we're doing two villains potentially from Raimi, and do you think it's only going to be Electro?
No, I think we're definitely getting a bunch of different villains in this movie.
No, I mean for Garfield's franchise.
Who else? So it would be Connors was the villain in the first movie. Hopefully we don't get Paul Giamatti Rhino, because that upset me quite a bit. I love the Rhino, and that was not the Rhino.
I also love Paul Giamatti.
I do love Paul Giamatti, so give me him as something else, just not as the Rhino.
Yeah, it was a disservice to both the character and Paul Giamatti.
Yes.
But what was I going to say? But what if they do Dane DeHaan Green Goblin too?
Please don't.
Yeah, no.
There was the Easter egg or nod to all the Sinister Six in that, and if we could have got any one of the other ones, I would have been happy. But I don't. Yeah, who else was a villain in Andrew Garfield Spider-Man? I can't think of anybody else.
It's just Lizard, Electro, Goblin. And then there's like a tease that what's it called? Harry's assistant is Black Cat, but like that's just
right.
a name drop.
Yeah, it's just a name drop.
So, Magic Bollocks chimed in with introduce a new goblin, Hemogoblin, but I read it as hemoglobin.
That's what he wanted. He wanted you to read it.
Because, ooh, I'm gonna steal the oxygen out of your blood. But then Case actually came through with Jason McIndale.
Okay.
And Roderick Kingsley.
That's the one.
As Demon Goblin.
Roderick Kingsley. Yeah.
That's a dope name.
Right. Like that's a noble name.
I'm guessing you're only gonna get Electro from the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
The only one worth bringing back, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Lizard, but there's, yeah.
Okay. Well, there it is.
Oh. Other thought, real quick. They did cast and confirm Kraven. I don't know if you guys talked about this.
We did.
Yes,
we talked about it last week.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? I want to get it out there. One, what are your thoughts of the casting? And two, what are your thoughts of a Kraven standalone movie, which I think is ridiculous? And I love Kraven the Hunter.
So I'm not familiar. I'm not super familiar. I know like a gist, like he is a hunter, like it's for sport, right? But I don't hate Aaron Taylor Johnson, but I'm not like super big on him, right? Like he was fine in Tenet. I thought he was. I was like, holy crap, he's in this, but that was about it.
I'm almost positive that's the reason why he got the role of Kraven the Hunter, because his role in Tenet, like he looks like Kraven the Hunter there.
I mean, I did make the obligatory joke last week, and I'll do it again. I didn't see that coming.
Thank you. I would not have made that joke.
Any last thoughts from the chat?
When Mitch texted me about it, hey, did you see this casting for Kraven? That was my response. Just, didn't see that coming. And that's the only response you should have to that.
It is.
Right.
It's the perfect one.
You're right.
Oh, man. I have no other thoughts on this. I don't think chat really does.
Okay. Well, Malfoy, where can people find you online then? If they want to talk to you.
If you would like to follow me, I am Alex Lusardi on Twitter. My last name is Lusardi. If you would like to follow me, I don't have any other socials, so yeah, one and done.
So I think that Alex should plan for, since he's going to be back for Spider-Man 2 and it's his favorite movie, that he should do a live tweet while watching it, and everybody should join him while doing so.
Yeah, done. I'm definitely rewatching it, maybe twice before the next time.
So pick one and live tweet it, but you have to let us know before you do it. That way we can be around for it.
It's going to be on a weekend, so I'll give plenty of notice.
All for it. Ian, where can people find you online?
Before I tell you where you can find me, I need to let you know that now that you have Malfoy's last name, if you're trying to steal his identity, let me know. I have lots of information on this boy, and I will sell it for the right price.
You just have to subscribe to Ian's OnlyFans.
I might have to cancel that live tweet, everybody, on the account of it won't be me. It will be Ian.
I think you just need to look to see if like a Malfoy type of handle is available out there.
I've tried. I think I have one, but it has a 4 for an A, and I don't like the way it looks.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, then you even put it in your bio there of like resident Slytherin, so you're fine.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, if you want to find me, if you want to be here on a Wednesday when we're recording this at 7:00 Arizona time, because Arizona is the only place that doesn't believe in time zones. So you can find me at Ian Flux on Twitch. That's IANFLUX. And on Instagram, I am the same name there. And over on Twitter, I am IanFlux12. Again, that is IANFLUX. And on Twitter, IANFLUX. The number is 12. And if you ask really nicely, Mitch might tell you where to find him online. But you have to ask really nicely. So Mitch, would you please tell us where we can find your OnlyFans?
Well, just like I'm branded everywhere, it's Mitchipedia GEM. You just look for that. You'll find it.
What does the GEM stand for,
The
Mitch?
GEM stands for Geek Elite Media. That's correct. The rest of Geek Elite Media can be found at Geek Elite Media on Twitter, at Geek Elite Media on Instagram, and Facebook.com/Geek Elite Media is our Facebook page. Check out archived episodes of this podcast and other podcasts on our website, geekelitemedia.com. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Geek Elite Media for exclusive material that you can only get if you're one of our patrons. Just like Case is. Thank you, Case. And
if you subscribe to the max tier, Mitch has to hang out with you.
It's true. It is true.
That's the highest tier. Mitch will come hang out with you. I'm slowly but surely saving enough money to make Mitch come hang out with me.
And whatever podcatcher you use to listen to this, if you listen to it as a podcast, please rate and review us. It helps spread the word of our network. But until next time, this is Journey into Mystery on the Geek Elite Media Network, saying always remember to geek out.
Geek out.
You remembered, Alex.
I didn't know if I was going to be early or not.
Just jump in.
This concludes our broadcast.